Secret knock, get in here. Security system is off and off on Labor Day today. Got Martin Luther King Day tomorrow. Got some time to build this here 1970 Firebird. Got to go over some few mistakes that I made, even while I was sitting in my rocket chair. If you guys didn't catch that episode, let me reiterate, 1957 called. And yeah, right straight from NASA. So the challenge with that is when I sit in this thing, I start thinking I'm a rocket scientist. I'm working here on this Frankenstein. I might have said some other F-body type words while building this and burning some stitching in. My goal here was to reinforce everything that I have reinforced, and I've made an error here in making it permanent, and nobody wants to remodel or rebuild behind me. But before I put this plate in down here and reinforce that lower control arm with this this crossbar here that's found on Trans Am WS6 as well as Z28. Before you make stuff permanent, make certain that it's right. I played absolute havoc trying to get my lower control arm in here to check my coilover conversion from UMI. And so what happened was I was tilted in quite a little bit on this side with this this mount, and I was able to fix it with some serious air hammer bars, whatever that thing there is. Maybe you guys know that as a cutting torch. It burns acetylene. All for reinforcement to get this here thing, whatever that's called, some kind of torsion bar. You guys probably know it as an anti-sway bar. Body roll control. And so I did the deal of reinforced plates up here where that mounts. And those were the simple plates that were used. 3/16 plate, grade 8 nut, size bigger than stock, from 3/8 to 7/16 bolt. Oversize the bolts so they don't rip out of the frame. But one thing I didn't do was understand that those are slightly splayed, not parallel, like I fought tooth and nail to get these in the absolute right spot, parallel so that they don't bind the bushings. I'm using brass at some point. People can comment and tell me what they think about that brass. But they can also comment and tell me, yeah, dude, always check your stuff before you weld and make permanent. So I want to show you guys what that means when you're making something permanent and you think you're right. So this control bar is from a Trans Am. It's 1.25 inches. I want to stay factory on a lot of things just because I'm a Pontiac fanatic. This is the 7/8 base Firebird that this frame came from, and not a lot of torsion in that anti-sway bar there. I had another one from a 73 Formula, and it's packaged here, and it is for sale, by the way. I got this 1 1/8 inches with its rear control bar, all with its uprights and everything like that. Not to mention the factory 3-speed Muncie. But I found this at a swap meet. Of course I got it powder coated. Powder coating makes everything go 50% faster, at least in your mind. So I got it powder coated and it's already scuffed up real good. This here is a Go car. I don't mind showing it, but it's definitely about Go. And one thing to know is that, look at these holes. This bar is slightly splayed, not parallel, not straight. So it's not 100% perpendicular. It would have been real simple to bolt the bar on here before I started welding away. So that's not a big deal, because when I do go to buy brass, I'm going to be altering brackets and making some brackets. But it's just one of those things I wanted to reinforce. Besides just reinforcing all this frame, I wanted to reinforce that, A, check it before you weld it, and because it's always easier to do it right the first time than go back and do it over again. So that's what's the mistakes that are happening here at WestSidePoncho, sitting in my rocket scientist chair and staring at my neon Pontiac sign. All right, YouTube, subscribe please. Take care. WestSidePoncho.